1, 2, 3. Oh, so right this. Anyways, there, monster in the shed and a special delivery. So let's start first with the special delivery. Special delivery. Cranky was unloading an urgent box for Sir Topham Hatt. The box was marked urgent. Creaked Cranky. What's so urgent about this package? Thomas heard Cranky's question. If it says urgent, we should get it to Sir Topham Hatt faster we can. He said, I'll take it. Just then, Gordon pulled up next to Thomas. An urgent package needs a speedy train, said Gordon. I'm the fastest train here, so I'll have to take the package. Then took the package and set off immediately. Thomas was left behind. Could have got him there quickly, he peeped. Gordon hurried down the track and took a hilly shortcut. Suddenly, saw a red signal. Some rocks had fallen his path. He was stuck. Just then, Toby came by on an open track. Help, said Gordon. I have an urgent package for Sir Topham Hatt. I can take it down the hill, said Toby. Thank you, Gordon called as Toby chugged away. Toby clickety-clacked quickly down the hill. Percy was waiting at the bottom. Thank you for bringing the urgent package down, said Percy. Now I can take it to Sir Topham Hatt. Sir Topham Hatt will be very proud of me. Percy did as he hurried along. Percy rounded a bend and saw James ahead of him, pulling two troublesome trucks. James was going very slowly because the trucks had their brakes on. We want to take the package, said the troublesome trucks. We won't release our brakes until you give it to us. He was very mad. He knew that the urgent package had to get to quickly with a sigh. He gave it to the truck. No more trouble from you trucks, said James. The trucks released their brakes. James and the trucks quickly left Percy behind. James was glad that he would be the one to deliver this urgent package now. James was going so fast, he almost didn't see the broken truck. Oh no! wailed James. No, Sir Topham Hatt will never get his urgent package. I'll take the urgent package, Harold landing next to James. He took the package and flew off. Harold soared over the countryside. He looked down, saw Thomas pulling into the station. Thomas had been faster than Gordon after all. Where's my package? Sir Topham Hatt asked. Just then Harold landed. I have it, sir, he said. Then he told Thomas and Topham Hatt what had happened. Finally, Sir Topham Hatt opened the urgent package. What could be inside? It's a shiny new hat just in time for tonight's big party, Topham Hatt said, putting the hat on his head. And Thomas, next time there's an urgent package, I want you to bring it. Or let's get to the next one. Monster Under the Shed. Monster Under the Shed. It was a dark, blustery evening at the station. Mr. Topperhand had closed the railway early on account of the weather. The engines were waiting for the signal to return to their sheds. Maybe one of us should tell a story to pass the time, Tom suggested. The other engines looked pleased with Tom's idea. I have the perfect story for the night, James volunteered with his sly grin. A long time ago, James began, there was an engine named Todd. There was a brave blue engine who always eager to help. Blue engine station asked one night, would you go to the end of the tracks to pick up a coach that was left behind? Of course, the baby girl engine replied, and sat out into the dark fogginess. By the time the little blue engine reached the end of the track, fog was so thick that you could hardly see anything. I'll just have to wait until morning, said the engine to himself, and settled into an old shed for the night. Late that night, the little blue engine woke to a noise coming from below the shed. Creak! He opened his eyes and saw long figures reaching him through the floorboards. There was a monster under the shed. Terrified, the little blue engine raced out of the shed, a horrible engineering monster chasing him through the fog. Then what happened? Asked Percy timidly. That's where the story ends, said James. We'll not heard from the low blue engine yet. What about the monster? Percy whispered. Don't be silly, said Gordon with a chuckle. It's just a story. But if the story's true, Percy, on their way to the shed, the engine monster is out somewhere right now. Such being a scaredy cat. Stop being such a scaredy cat, Percy, Thomas answered. There are no such thing as monsters. Later that night, after they had settled in bed, the engines were startled by a terrible racket coming from Percy's shed. Gordon, Thomas, help! There's a monster under my shed, wailed Percy. Only James appeared, roaring with laughter. He had been rattling some scrap metal behind the shed. Then Percy, I'm a monster! I'm a monster! James shouted. He was embarrassed for making such a fuss. It's so good, Percy. And sometimes good imaginations think bad thoughts. Later that night, Thomas woke with fright. He heard a strange note. Scratch, scratch. Stop it, James, Thomas yelled. James was sound asleep. Scratch, scratch. If it's not James, then maybe I really do have a monster under my shed, thought Thomas. Stayed awake. Only just to be safe. Thomas was awfully tired when he met Percy at the doctor the next morning. You hear any strange sounds in your You'd like to wait. Not after James said silly praying, he replied. Thomas felt silly and staying awake all night. In the middle of the day, Thomas was very sleepy and running far behind schedule. And he pulled up a sign. Look, if you could use special coats, I'm just a little tired, Thomas answered. He didn't want anyone to know and frightened to sleep. Just then James sped by on the express track. What's the matter, Thomas called. Monsters keeping you up at night? James appeared down the track, laughing around. By the end of the day, Thomas barely had enough steam to make it back to the yard. Other engines were telling stories again, but Thomas headed straight to bed. Sometime that night, Thomas woke up with a scratch, scratch. The noises were back, and they were definitely coming from under the shed. Who's there? Thomas whispered in the dark. Creak, creak, came the answer. Go away, monster, get out, Thomas whispered as he closed his eyes tight. Thump, 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 thump. The noise was getting louder and closer. It was surely like the other engines Thomas had doing, so they'll save me from the monster with the engines and stir. Thump, thump. It's outside the door, Thomas yelled. It's head. Help, Gordon, Thomas whispered. Only the monster heard a thump, 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 thump. The doors of Thomas's shed began to rattle. Their hinges bang, bang, bang. It's trying to get in, thought Thomas. Then suddenly the banging stopped. Thomas was too frightened to move. He peered out into the dark, and there it was, the horrible engine-eating monster. Thomas could see its eyes glow in the dark. Thomas clamped his own eyes shut and screamed, "Gordon, Henry, Percy, James!" he cried. "Save me from the monster!" "Thomas," Gordon said, laughing, "open your eyes." "What are you laughing at, Gordon?" snapped Thomas. "The monster right outside my shed." "Not anymore," Gordon replied. "Now the monster is inside your shed." Thomas opened one eye very slowly. "Hedgehog?" Thomas yelled in surprise. "I was afraid of a tiny little hedgehog." Now the engine's all up, and Thomas laughed. But she has a good imagination, Thomas. "I think yours is even better," said Gordon with a little chuckle. "I think you're right," agreed Thomas. "It's the only thing in the world that could turn a tiny hedgehog into a big man." And yeah, that's like pretty much the last book. So yeah, that's it. Bye.